Okay, guys, today I wanted to come and do a final review on a hairstyle that I had in my previous videos, which was the crochet box braids medium long made by Freetress. And I just want to start off by saying that I did a lot of research on this hairstyle in the hair, and no one talked about the experience that I had with this hair. I was so disappointed in this hairstyle. Like, it took me through a lot. It did. So let's just get started with this video, and I'll go into more details about that later in the video. But let's get started with the pros. So the hair was easy to install. It only took about an hour to, no, I'm lying. It only took about 2 hours to 2 hours and a half. It was a protective style, so you didn't have to worry about your hair. And if you, I'm looking down at my phone because last video I realized that I wanted to say a lot, but I forgot. So I wrote down notes for this video. I used 10 packs of hair. I ordered 11. But the hair wasn't heavy at first. It was kind of lightweight. It was easy to take out. When I took it out, all I did was cut it. It was out in about like 30 minutes. So I was happy about that, extremely happy about that. And the braids, they were long, but they were neat and they were all even. So the hairstyle did look like really legit. Like you went to the braiding shop to get it done. So I really liked that. I felt like an African queen when I had that hairstyle wear. I just came back from Cancun, and everyone over there just loved my hair. I guess because they're not used to seeing braids like that. But everyone wanted to touch my hair, wanted to ask me questions about the hair. Like, it was really like pretty. I did like the hair. I'm not gonna lie about that. But honey, that hair took me through a lot. So that's the pros. The pros was it was easy to install. It was a protective styling. It was lightweight, easy to take out, and the braids were neat and clean and even. So they were the pros. All right, so let's go to the cons. All right, so like I said, I went to Cancun this last weekend. I stayed for about 4 days. When I got into the water, I got into the water up into my chest the first time. So the hair wasn't, it got a little heavy, but it didn't get like extremely heavy. The next time I got into the water, I put my whole head I need the water, and honey, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have. The hair became extremely heavy, like heavy. Like I was competing to hold my head up. Like the hair was pulling my neck back like this, and I was trying to hold it up. So I was like in competition with the hair the whole day. Like I put it like some of it up in a bun, but it was just still like too heavy. So that's one of the cons. If you get it wet, it's just a wrap. Like, don't do that. My head was hurting so bad that I had to pay $10 for some Tylenol. You know, overseas they always try and get you. So I had to pay $10 for some Tylenol. So I was kind of upset about that. I had a headache for the whole day. So that's my first con. The second one is my edges are gone. Before I even got into the water, at first I was thinking like, oh, maybe it came out because of the water, you know. Da, da, da. No, before I even got into the water, my hair, like around my edges, it was coming out. Like I would walk and I would see a plant. I would walk a couple of feet and I would see another plant. It was horrible. But I know my edges came out with it because when I picked up the plant, you can still see my hair at the top of the plant. So it means that it came out from the root. So my edges is gone now. So that's another con. So I don't recommend this hairstyle for people who have fine hair because it was just too heavy. It had to be. It was just too heavy for my head. Even though it was braided underneath of the plaits, I just feel like it was too heavy. And then on top of that, the braids had what is it? Kalinkalon hair, the little dollar hair braided into my braids to give it extra sturdiness. and the plait still came out. I don't understand that. So I don't recommend that hairstyle for people who have fine hair. I have natural hair, but I was just born with naturally like fine hair. There's nothing that I can really do about that. But the hair was too heavy for it. The second con is I guess because my hair got wet when I was going on vacation, the braids started to loosen up. So even though the hair was dry, it still became heavy because the braids wasn't as secure on my scalp as they were when I first got it done. So even when I came back home to the US, I still was having issues with the hair being too heavy on my head. So I was having headaches and I didn't know where the headaches was coming from. I really didn't. Like, I knew the hair was heavy, but I was going to try to make it work. I was going to try to keep it in for at least a month and a half because I paid $61 for the hair and then I paid $65 to get it installed. So I'm like, I'm going to try to keep this in as long as possible. And then I also wanted to keep it in for my next trip next month going to Miami because I didn't want to worry about doing my hair, but it didn't last. So I'm like, you know what? It gotta be these braids. I was popping Tylenols every day. That's how bad it was hurting my head. The moment I cut them plaits out and massaged my head like this, I felt so much better. Like within the next hour, my headache was gone. Yes. And I'm not even exaggerating, it was gone. That's why I'm saying no one ever talked about all this stuff in their videos. But I guess it's kind of my fault. I shouldn't have got the hair wet, but I wasn't thinking. But I've had box braids before with my real hair and went underneath a water and I was fine. Like nothing happened. So I don't know. Maybe it was the way this hair was put in, but I'm giving you my experience with the hair, and I personally don't recommend it for anyone who has fine hair or who's going on a trip, because if you are, then don't plan to get your hair wet because it's going to be a living hell after that. So that's all I wanted to come and talk to you all about. Now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get my next hairstyle because I don't know. I don't. This hairstyle that I have in right now, which is the half wig by Ultra Bohemian Long, is still holding up, honey. This is like my go-to wig now. I said in one of my other videos that I was going to show you how to recurl it because it did get a little stiff. So I think I'm going to upload a video on that pretty soon. I just have to make it to the beauty supply store and get some rods. I've just been lazy ever since I came back. But I promise I'll get it up to you soon. And I guess I'll see you next time. Bye, YouTubers.